In the headlines, Nigerian army raids terrorist stronghold in Kaduna, rescues 13 kidnapped students. Borno police recover 11 decomposed bodies, rescue operations ongoing. How a blind volunteer teacher defies society expectations to inspire others. And on the international scene, South Sudan postpones December election by 2 years. Hello and welcome to News Update on Trust TV. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Thank you for joining us. The details. Troops of the Nigerian Army in Kaduna State have rescued 13 kidnapped students. The freed students consist of 6 males and 7 females. A statement on X by the Nigerian Army said the students were rescued after a fierce gun duel with terrorists at Chibolu village in Kachia local government area of Kaduna State. The statement added that dangerous weapons were also recovered from the terrorists during the operation. In another operation in the same local government, the Nigerian Army also said troops arrested 2 terrorist logistics suppliers and recovered the sum of 1.3 million naira, among others, from the suspects. According to the army, troops have also invaded a terrorist hideout, killing 3 terrorists and arrested another 3, just as the sum of 4 million naira and other dangerous weapons were recovered from the terrorists. 3 of the bandits recently killed by troops in Zamfara State have been identified to be among the killers of the late Sarkin Gobir Isa Muhammad Bawa. The younger brother of the late monarch, Senator Shaibu Gwanda Gobir, confirmed this in a chat with Daily Trust. Gobir said those identified are Kachala Buzu, alias Halilu Sububu, Blackie, and 1 other bandit, who confirmed his involvement in the murder of the late monarch in a now viral video clip. Senator Gobir assured that the family of late Sarkin Gobir will never relent in their efforts to ensure that all those behind the brutal murder of the monarch have either been captured alive or killed by the troops. The Borno State Police Command has recovered 11 decomposed bodies from various locations in Maiduguri, the state capital, as rescue operations continue across the affected areas. Thousands of families trapped in Maiduguri flooded areas were evacuated to safer areas by the military, volunteers, and other security agencies. The supervising police public relations officer for the Northeast, SP Ahmed Wakil, in a statement issued to journalists in Bauchi on Friday, assured that the command remains committed to minimizing further loss of life and ensuring the safety of Maiduguri residents during this challenging time. Maiduguri residents have called on the government and the international communities for intervention over the flood that have killed more than 30 people and displaced thousands. Trust TV's Beatrice Kurusi tells us more.
The flood has receded in some parts of the Maiduguri metropolis, paving way for some residents, especially those who live along the Maiduguri bridge that connects the capital with the NUJ Center, University and Teaching Hospital, to return home. Meanwhile, at the Bakassi camp and others, there is high influx of flood victims from affected communities seeking shelter at the camp. They plead for interventions and support. The flood destroyed our house and we lost everything. Since we came to the camp without my husband, it has not been easy for me. We are struggling to feed with the little given to us. However, emergency responders and security agents have embarked on rescue operations at Abaganaram community, where people are still trapped in the water. I've been searching for my son for the past 3 days in the water. No one has seen him. The water is everywhere. We got lucky because it was the soldiers that saved us. I pray they find my son. The situation there is so worst that there is no food and clean water. We slept on trees and roofs. Many people lost their lives, and more people are still trapped in the water. We beg the government to do something, and most especially support us with food and other essentials. The search for flood survivors has taken 3 days, and more are still coming out from the flood. Bicho Security, Trust TV News, Maiduguri.
The Minister of Environment, Balarabe Abbas, has announced the deployment of staff to Maiduguri to address pollution and other environmental challenges. Abbas made this known on Friday while consoling the governor of Borno State, Babagana Zulum, when he led a delegation of heads of relevant agencies in the ministry on an assessment visit to Maiduguri. Abbas said the ministry has prepared for the aftermath of the Alau Dam flood disaster in Maiduguri with the deployment of staff of relevant agencies to Borno. He commended Governor Zulum for the leadership being exhibited in handling the catastrophic incident, adding that with a reliable partner like Zulum, the challenges would be properly handled. In his response, Zulum lauded the ministry for its show of concern and called for sustainable solutions to the issue of the dam and desertification facing the state. The Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation, Joseph Utsev, on Friday warned of potential river flooding on the Niger and Benue rivers. At a press briefing in Abuja, the minister said a large volume of water is flowing through these rivers towards the Niger Delta region. Utsev emphasized the need for continued vigilance and improved preparedness to address potential flooding in the southern parts of the country. The federal government, through the Agro-Climatic Resilience in Semi-Arid Landscape ACAL Project, has announced plans to restore 1 million hectares of degraded land in northern Nigeria. The initiative was unveiled during a stakeholders engagement session on the development of strategic catchment management plans in wetland zones of northern Nigeria in Kano on Friday. National Project Coordinator of ACAL, Abdulhamid Umar, said the restoration project is aimed at transforming degraded lands in northern Nigeria into productive and habitable spaces. He highlighted that this marks the first time the Nigerian government is undertaking a catchment movement plan of this scale, adding that the projects aim to directly benefit 3.4 million people, with nearly half of those being women. The project's strategic catchment management plans will enable the integration of social and economic needs with natural ecosystems, ensuring the long-term use of natural resources. He explained that the plans would set the foundation for sustainable landscape management across 5 major hydrological areas in northern Nigeria. Candidates from the opposition political parties contesting for the forthcoming Kaduna State local government election, slated for 19 October 2024, are calling for the stoppage of the screening exercise conducted by the Kaduna State Independent Electoral Commission, Kaduna Sarkin, over the pending suit before the court. The People Redemption Party PRP candidate Yahaya Shinko made the call while speaking to newsmen in Kaduna. Shinko said Sarkin must reply with extant provisions of the law, which requires publication of affidavit of a candidate vying for any political seat.
By line of activities under the law, the publication of affidavit of candidate is to predate the screening embarked upon by the Kaduna State Independent Electoral Commission, but it was never published. 2. An affidavit by a candidate or a political party submitted to the Commission is a fulfillment of all requirements for election. 3. A candidate cannot rightly be disqualified extrajudicially by the CCOM via the screening which it has embarked upon, but only by order of the Kaduna State High Court. And 4. the entrenched civil right and obligation of persons in the public to freely glance through and get abreast with the document of the various candidates contesting for the various elective public offices, and or to lead evidence in the Kaduna State High Court and seek a declaration to disqualify a candidate who give false information in the affidavit have also been skipped and denied by the Commission.
You're watching News Update on Trust TV. Coming up, how a blind volunteer teacher defies society expectations to inspire others. More on these stories and even more stories to come. Stay with us. Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. If you're just joining us, this is News Update on Trust TV. Here's a recap of our top stories. Report: Nigerian Army raids terrorist stronghold in Kaduna, rescues 13 kidnapped students. And Borno police recover 11 decomposed bodies. Rescue operations still ongoing. Moving on to other stories. The story of Lahuru Abdul Hamid, a blind volunteer teacher who dedicated himself to educating the sighted student, captured the hearts of many when his video captured by Trust TV went viral recently. Since that initial wave of recognition, Lahuru has not slowed down. He has successfully completed his first degree and is now setting his sight on further academic achievements. Today, Lahuru returns to Trust TV, sharing the story of how he has continued to defy expectations and inspire others. The report.
Yes, you.
Lahuru's commitment to education extends far beyond the classroom. His passion for learning and teaching has inspired countless others who visit him at home for tutoring. In an interview at Trust TV studio, Lahuru reflects on his journey, sharing stories of support he's received, the obstacles he's faced, and his unwavering resolve to keep moving forward.
As a result of this voluntary teaching, I met with Daily Trust, and they really helped me a lot. And I get a job as a secondary school teacher, which is permanent and pensionable.
Lahuru explains how he challenges the limits of what society expects from those with disabilities, proving that determination and hard work can transcend physical limitations.
I have 3.44 as my final CGPA, and having I as a blind person, even I have 1.00 CGPA is a greatest achievement to me, because when you consider with the struggle and the challenges that our education is going, you will wonder. In our family, I am the only blind person, but what surprised you is I am the only person who attended tertiary institution, which is very wonderful and great achievement to me. So I just want to bring about new things, new development into my family, so that they will be saying, yes, what the money that they spent to me is now yielding a positive result.
The volunteer teacher says he has now set his sights on pursuing further academic qualifications, determined to reach even greater heights in the field of education.
Even now, I got admission at the National Open University of Nigeria for MSc Peace Studies and Conflict Resolution, but I don't have sponsorship. I would like to be a lecturer, because by being given or appointed as a lecturer, I will have more people to interact with, and many people will be saying, so person taught me a particular course, and he is a visually impaired, he is a blind person. So this will reduce this segregate or this ideology that a blind person is useless. So I don't have words to say thank you to Daily Trust, and thank you the proprietors of Daily Trust. I really thank you. May Allah improve your capacity, may Allah improve you, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to guide you on the right path. I wish you best of luck, and if you like, you can call me Lahuru Daily Trust.
Lahuru's inspiring words are a reminder that true strength lies not in the absence of adversity, but in the courage to confront it head-on. Abdulaziz Ibrahim, Trust TV News.
The significant rise in food commodity prices in the country has also impacted one of Lagos' most common and beloved staple food, agege bread. Consumers across the state are expressing their frustration over the increase in the cost of this popular bread that low-income earners now struggle to afford. The report.
Agege bread, one of the most popular breads in Lagos State, was first made in the early 60s by late Tajuddin Adeosi Jinado on Adebowale Street off Akilo Road, Ogba, Agege. One major uniqueness of agege bread is its softness and fluffiness. The bread's texture remains consistently soft and fluffy, offering a balanced taste that is just right, making it a versatile staple for many in Nigeria, especially Lagosians. Kehinde Adeosi, one of the children of the pioneer of agege bread, who is also a professional baker, advised Nigerians, both at home and abroad, not to compromise the quality of agege bread because of the country's economic challenges.
The uniqueness of agege bread is not something that is overrated. It's something that goes anywhere. And, one of my advice to people overseas abroad, because I have a couple of friends over there, I have a couple of people that have trained, even right here in the country, in Nigeria here, that I know that, they are even doing so well, as far as, outside of the country, overseas. What I could say is, they should keep doing what they are doing. And, agege bread still go any day, anytime, anywhere. And they should keep doing it.
Maybe like 3 years or 5 years ago, we are selling that bread is 400 naira. If you want to cut it into two, you cut it to 200 naira. But now it's 800 naira. You cut into two for 400 naira. That biggest one we always sell 400 naira before is 1,200 naira now.
Lagos residents who regularly consume agege bread add their views on why they prefer it over varieties of breads.
Before, when you don't carry 500 naira, you reach where they sell food. If you buy agege bread like 200, you buy beans 100 or 150, you go still drink pure water, whole change for pocket. But now you no be like that again. Now you go buy agege 500, save you no go belle full.
Start from 400, 500. So now start from 1,000 naira, 800 naira. So that's how they sell agege bread now. It's expensive now.
Trust me, because the taste of the way they normally make it is different, and the taste is different from it. Because like now, if you check this agege bread, if you check it with another bread, let me for example now, this agege bread, maybe if you eat it, you see the difference from it from quiz bread and some other bread, and the quantity, and it's very light. Some is very light and very thick. Some normally thick and very light.
Agege bread, you can use it to eat many food like beans, akara. Use many things to eat it. You can use butter, you can use bama, you can use pear, because it's very soft.
To encourage more citizens to enter the bread making business, there is need for the government to bring down the price of ingredients, so to enable more Nigerians embrace bread baking and help develop the country.
In business, Nigeria's external reserves recorded an increase of $424.68 million between August 30th and September 10th, highlighting an improved financial outlook for the country. The reserves are crucial for stabilizing the naira, financing imports, and managing external obligations rose from $36.305 billion on August 30th to $36.730 billion by September 10th, representing a 1.17% increase over the 11 days, according to data from the CBN. However, a slight dip to $36.244 billion was recorded on September 2nd, representing a minor decline of $61 million. This was followed by a recovery, with the reserves rising to $36.274 billion on September 3rd, reflecting a gain of $30 million. A further analysis of the report indicated that on September 4th, the reserves had returned to their August 30th level, reaching $36.304 billion. The positive trend continued on September 5th as the reserves climbed to $36.337 billion, representing an increase of $33 million. A more substantial gain occurred on September 6th, with reserves growing by $55 million to $36.392 billion. The Apex Bank contributed the growth to the evolution of the foreign exchange market in Nigeria, attributing that and changing patterns of international trade, institutional changes in the economy, and structural shifts in production. On the international scene, South Sudan's government has announced it is postponing the long-delayed general elections until December 2026, citing a lack of preparedness. This is the second time the country, which gained independence in 2011, is postponing its election and extending a transitional period that started in February 2020. President Salva Kiir and his former rival turned deputy Riek Machar signed a peace agreement in 2018 that ended a 5-year civil war which killed an estimated 400,000 people, triggered a famine, and led to a massive refugee crisis. The government said it needs more time to complete processes which, of course, such as the census, drafting of a permanent constitution, and the registration of political parties before an election could be held, according to the Presidential Advisor on National Security, Tut Gatluak. Cabinet Affairs Minister Martin Elia Lomuro said the extension followed recommendations from both electoral institutions and the security sector. And finally, in sports, the grand finale of 2024 Dembe Warriors Super Fight 3 will come up in Abuja. Organizers had their press conference to sensitize the public about the league fight. Trust TV's sports correspondent Adeni Ajishafe has more.
The Federal Capital Territory witnessed a blockbuster Dambe fight in the third year of the Circuit League fight. Dambe Warriors is a league of traditional fighters competing in different categories of weight across selected cities. Dambe Warriors co-founder Chidi Ayena and Antonio Keleke were on ground to let the world know why Dambe Warriors platform is gaining momentum with their fight exhibitions. Fighters expressed happiness for having Dambe Warriors promoting them, while also appreciating the welfare package and hospitality they receive. The introduction of the fighters in different categories with the rendition of traditional beat changed the rhythm of the event, as fighters also show off their dancing skills and readiness for the fight. Yamage and Aljani Nasarawa will battle in the lightweight category, as middleweight have Dogo Messi and Shaban, Dogon Shegia Mota versus Russian Denis Sharif, while heavyweight fighters Garkenya Sanda tackles Alkani Bello, Dantula Yellow versus Polish Dambe fighter Matthews will lock home. Co-founder spoke in tones about the league and expectations.
When we started last year, the first final was in the stadium, Caterpillar Stadium, right? The second season, we had our finals in Lagos, in BI, in Murio Kolapa, the heart of BI, right? This time we're in Abuja. So we have that evolution.
We have fighters from local Dambe arenas, the top best from the continent so far, as well as international participants who are vying for a position in the Dambe circuit. They've heard so much about Dambe and they want to, come into this circuit and conquer. This is the third time in a row as part of the Dambe Warriors, upliftment of the sport.
Polish Dambe fighter Matthew said he's in Nigeria to win, as he believes he has what it takes to be winner in his fight category.
I am honored to be able to fight in such competition because we've been to villages, like the original Dambe villages. That was the best experience of my life, the deepest I had ever in my heart. So, God brought me here.
Minister of Art, Culture and Creative Economy Hanatu Musa Musawa, represented by the Special Assistant, said the Ministry of Culture is proud of Dambe Warriors, hence needs to partner with them in promoting Nigerian cultural heritage while also using it to fight vices and foster peace.
We decided that this was a great opportunity for us to partner, also due to the fact that it aligns a lot with some of the stuff that we're doing around reducing the vices in the rural areas through practicing some of the more cultural, heritage-oriented sports, dances, filmmaking, and so on and so forth.
The third season Dambe Warrior Super League circuit will be live on Trust TV from 4 to 6 p.m. as the fight holds at the Velodrome of MK Abiola Stadium on 15 September 2024. That's Sport News. I'm Adeni Ajishafe.
And with that, we wrap up news updates on Trust TV. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Thanks for watching.